Welcome to coverage of the 2022 Mid-Atlantic American Legion Regional Baseball Tournament on Metro News. Representatives from West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, New Jersey, and Delaware are here as 8 teams battle for a coveted spot in the American Legion World Series. Regional games are taking place at Dale Miller Field at Milan Park near Morgantown, West Virginia. Now let's head to the ballpark for play-by-play coverage of the Mid-Atlantic Regional on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Milan Park. I'm Daniel Woods bringing you coverage of the Mid-Atlantic Regional American Legion Baseball Tournament. Resuming a game from last night, this matchup in the winner's bracket of the tournament, Chesapeake, Virginia, that's post 280, against Philipsburg, 437, the state champions out of Pennsylvania. So it will be Philipsburg and Chesapeake. They resume this game scoreless in the bottom of the second. And it is Jacob DeSimon at the plate, facing a 1-2 count for Philipsburg, post 437. He's going to chop this one to shortstop. It'll be taken there by Trent Holland, fired onto first for out number 2 in the bottom of the second. So Trent Holland, the shortstop for Chesapeake, makes the first play. That brings up the second baseman, Nick Cordray, for post 437. So runner on first for Philipsburg here. One down in the inning. First pitch called strike to Cordray. Short lead off of first. From the stretch, fastball misses up and away, evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. This game interrupted bottom of the second last night with the bottom of the order at the plate for Philipsburg. And we resume things this morning. 1-1 on the way. Shot towards first base. Line drive snagged out of the air by Gavin Whitehurst, and they'll double him off. Whitehurst steps on the first base bag to put an end to the inning. Scoreless after 2. Pretty quick progression there for the Chesapeake, Virginia defense. They'll come back to the plate in the top of the third, and we'll set the lineups and give you a full look at what we're looking at as this game resumes this morning. It is a winner's bracket matchup, Chesapeake, Virginia, Philipsburg, Pennsylvania, with a spot moving on through the winner's bracket on the line. You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Regional Baseball coverage on Metro News.
Metro News is the voice of high school sports in West Virginia. We're there from the sweat-soaked high school gyms to the bright lights of the Charleston Civic Center and the state tournaments. We're with the fans under the lights on Friday nights during football season and at Wheeling Island Stadium for the Super 6. We're at the dusty baseball fields and at Appalachian Power Park for the state championships. From the Metro News Power Index to the high school sports line, your home for the best coverage of high school sports is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
What you need to know today is just a click away. WVMetroNews.com has the latest statewide news stories from the capital city to your hometown. Follow your favorite sports teams from high school to the pros. Hunting and fishing information is always on the outdoors page. And never miss your favorite Metro News program with live streams and archived episodes. Wherever you are in the Mountain State, the information you need is at WVMetroNews.com.
Back at Dale Miller Field, Daniel Woods bringing you coverage of the Mid-Atlantic American Legion Baseball Regional Tournament here in Morgantown, West Virginia. Chesapeake, Virginia, Philipsburg, Pennsylvania, resuming a matchup that began last night. This game was interrupted by rain. It started last night at 7 o'clock, and we picked things back up here at 10 o'clock this morning. Quick work for Max McCrary in the bottom of the second for Chesapeake to keep things scoreless through 2 innings. Meanwhile, got a new pitcher starting things off today for Philipsburg, post 437. That is Zach Tiricorda. Tiricorda Started the game last night in center field. He replaces Zach Withrow, who threw 2 scoreless innings for Philipsburg before the rains came last night. Withrow, solid outing, allowed a couple of base runners on a hit and walk, but struck out a pair. Now Tiricorda, who pitched in relief against Morgantown Post 2 back on Wednesday, steps in his first pitch. Delivered to the leadoff hitter, the second baseman Austin Jones, is a called strike. So it's the top of the order with Jones batting from the right side. Third baseman drawn in. 0-1 fastball found back to the screen. So an 0-2 count to the second baseman, Austin Jones. Full line for Tiricorda. Goes to the curveball. Out in front of it, chopped foul on the third base side. We'll set the lineup, the formal lineup here for you in just a moment for Philipsburg, or rather for Chesapeake, Virginia, as Jones comes back to the plate. The leadoff hitter last night, he holds on to that spot now. 0-2, breaking ball in the dirt. Runs the count 1-2. Tiricorda taking some time between pitches. Now the 1-2 fastball up in the zone. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Austin Jones strikes out for the second time in this game. Just one day later, he was set down looking by Zach Withrow yesterday to lead off the game. And now he's the strikeout victim of Zach Tiricorda. That'll bring in the left-handed hitting center fielder, Aiden Stuffle. He lined out to the shortstop last night, and he takes a fastball in the outside corner, 0-1. For Chesapeake, it's Jones, Stuffle, and Jacob Smith set to come to the plate in this inning. 0-1 fastball, shot towards the first base dugout. It'll ricochet back towards the field of play for a foul ball, strike 2. The left fielder, Cooper Newell, hits in the cleanup spot. Spencer Sigmund does the catching. He'll bat 5th. Gavin Whitehurst is the first baseman in the 6th spot. Nick Valentine is the 7 hitter playing right field. 0-2 hit in the air. Foul territory. Third base side. Slicing back towards left field, and it'll land foul. Trenton Evans is the third baseman for Chesapeake. He'll hit 8th, and the shortstop Trent Holland is in the 9 spot. Stuffle 0 for 1 last night. He was 1 for 1 in Chesapeake's opening game of the tournament against Delaware Veterans Post 1. Scored a pair of runs, drew 2 walks as well. 0-2 from Tiricorda. Goes upstairs with the fastball. Can't get his man to chase. 1-2. Righty working to the extreme side of that rubber. Goes with a curveball just off the end of the bat, sent back towards the backstop. So Stuffle stays in it here. As I mentioned, this is the second pitching appearance in the tournament for Zach Tiricorda as he goes to the fastball looking for that outside corner. He won't get it from home plate umpire Roger Wolf, and that evens the count 2-2. Tiricorda came on to finish off Philipsburg's win over Morgantown Post 2 the other night. And the 2-2 fastball shot back into center field. That'll drop in front of Jacob DeSimon out there in center for a 1-out single. So it's a 1-out base runner. Second hit of the game for Chesapeake 280. And it brings up the left-handed hitting designated hitter, Jacob Smith. He was 1 for 3, scored a run, and hit a 3-run home run against the Delvets the other day. So he's certainly got some power from the left side, and he's got a man on base as well. Stuffle, the center fielder, already in the mind of Tiricorda, who fires over a pickoff attempt to start things off. Tiricorda, through 2 innings against Morgantown Post 2, struck out 4, allowed just 1 base runner on a Dom Calasante single. This is just the 2nd base runner he's allowed in the tournament. His first pitch fastball clips the outside part of the plate, 0-1. Smith was hit by a pitch last night. Was stranded at first. Tiricorda working from the stretch for the first time in this outing. On the 0-1, he catches the outside part of the plate with a changeup that time. He's excelled at working ahead of his opponents so far in this one. Cooper Newell, the left fielder, is on deck, the cleanup hitter. Quick practice swing there from Jacob Smith. He's ready to go, so is Tiricorda. He'll jump off the rubber, fire over to first. Pickoff attempt not in time. Stuffle over at first. Like I said, center fielder has some speed, it appears. And he's certainly got Tiricorda concerned. Now the 0-2. Smith knuckles this one towards third base. That's a fair ball just inside the bag. One-hopping the throw is Colby Hahn, but digging that one out nicely is Mike Kitko for out number 2. Only play was to first. That moves the runner up to second. So Stuffle's in scoring position with 2 outs for Cooper Newell. Score that a fielder's choice 5-3. And Tiricorda's got 2 down in the inning. Newell hit a pop-up to the shortstop Parker White in his only plate appearance last night. As Tiricorda peers in for the sign from Nate Guskey behind the plate. First pitch fastball upstairs. It's Guskey making up the battery with Tiricorda. Kitko's at first. Nick Cordry's the second baseman. White, the shortstop. Hahn at third. As the 1-0 comes home from Tiricorda, wrapped on the ground towards Hahn. Routine play for the third baseman. Fires across to Kitko for out number 3. As Zach Tiricorda works around a 1-out single and sets down Philipsburg post 437 to take us to the bottom of the 3rd inning. This game resumed from last night due to a lightning delay. Philipsburg post 437, Chesapeake post 280 at the Mid-Atlantic American Legion Baseball Regional Tournament. Scoreless through 2.5. You're listening to American Legion Baseball coverage on the voice of West Virginia, WV Metro News.
No weekend plans? Try some of ours. Some unrivaled outdoor adventure you won't find anywhere else in the world. To hometown plates and platters that pair well with the local craft beers. The happiest hours start here. Mountain or country. Come. Go wild.
How well do you know your insurance company?
Well, I know I pay each month, and I'm covered.
Okay, are you sure you have the best rates? Do you have the right coverage for your needs? Are you paying for things you don't need?
Well, I haven't actually talked to my agent. I just assumed...
Talk to a real person. Talk to someone local and see the difference.
Dynamic Insurance Group, caring independent agents that will find insurance solutions that are as unique as you are. Personal or commercial, you're covered at dynamicinsurancegroup.com.
Back for the bottom of the 3rd, Daniel Woods with you at the Mid-Atlantic American Legion Baseball Regional Tournament. Philipsburg out of the state of Pennsylvania and Chesapeake from the state of Virginia, a pair of state champions matching up in this game that's been resumed after a lightning delay last night. It was a 7 o'clock first pitch last night and has been brought back in a 10 a.m. start this morning. It's scoreless now through 2.5 innings. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, and it is 9-1-2 due up for Philipsburg post 437 with the right fielder Ben Guskey leading things off against Max McCrary, who's returned after starting last night's game. First pitch swinging, a pop-up to the shortstop. That's Trent Holland. He'll handle it easily. A couple steps to the left of the second base bag for out number 1. So McCrary, I'm sure, would like to work quickly in this one after putting some miles on that arm last night. And he's been able to do that, allowed a leadoff in a sense of the word, a leadoff single to Jacob DeSimon back in the bottom of the second as he delivers a first pitch fastball that misses off the inside part of the plate to the left fielder Tanner Kephart. So DeSimon singled to lead off the resumption of the game, I should say, as this fastball comes inside and hits Kephart right between the numbers. And he'll head down to first, hit by a pitch. And it's a one-out base runner for Philipsburg. But McCrary allowed that leadoff single, but got a line drive from the next batter, Nick Cordry, that was hit right at his first baseman, Gavin Whitehurst, who snagged the line drive and was able to step on the bag to retire DeSimon as well for the unassisted double play to end the inning. Kephart going to take his time down at first base, gets the sliding glove on after taking that one right between the shoulder blades. And now Parker White, the shortstop, will hit with a man on base. McCrary steps off, fires to first. Kephart back in time. Set at the belt. McCrary steps off once again. Pickoff attempt not in time. Whitehurst tosses it back to his pitcher. Third baseman Trenton Evans drawn in a bit, just on the edge of the infield grass. Now the delivery from McCrary. Fastball down the middle, top of the zone, taken for a strike. Once again from the stretch on the 0-1. Kicks and deals, goes off speed. This one hit in the air, shallow right field. Working his way over to the line is Nick Valentine. He'll reach up, make the catch for out number 2. Harmless fly ball to right field for the second out in the inning. That brings up the catcher, Nate Gusky. He struck out looking in his only plate appearance last night. So Gusky digs in on the right side. 2 outs, runner at first. That's Kephart, who was hit by a pitch. First pitch, breaking ball downstairs from McCrary. First pitching appearance in the tournament for McCrary here. Working well over to the side of that rubber. Now gets a 1-0 ground ball to shortstop, gobbled up by Holland. He'll go to first for out number 3. So the 1-out hit by pitch does not come back to bite Max McCrary as he sets down the next 2 batters with a fly out to right field and a ground ball to the shortstop. We'll go to the top of the 4th. Chesapeake, Virginia coming back to the plate. One of these teams going to have to score at some point. We're scoreless after 18 outs here in Morgantown. Chesapeake, Virginia, Philipsburg, post 437 out of the state of Pennsylvania. Matching up in the Mid-Atlantic Regional American Legion Baseball Tournament. You're listening to live baseball coverage on the Voice of West Virginia, WV Metro News.
Hi, it's Tony Caridi, host of the CityNet Statewide Sports Line right here on Metro News. Join the Senator, Brad Howe, Coach Greg Hunter, and myself as we discuss the day's biggest sports stories, talking with coaches, former players, and sports writers from all over the state and across the nation, bringing you the latest from the high schools, colleges, and the pro game. So don't miss the CityNet Statewide Sports Line weeknights at 6:06 here on the Metro News Radio Network and streaming live at WVMetronews.com.
Your source for what's happening in West Virginia is WVMetronews.com. Get the latest statewide news, sports reports from WVU, Marshall, and your local high school teams. Explore the great outdoors with Chris Lawrence. Read Hoppy Kirchhoff's daily commentary and catch up on your favorite Metro News programs and podcasts. Stay informed anytime, anywhere with WVMetronews.com. Metro News, for 36 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Back for the top of the 4th, and Zach Tiricorda back to the mound for Philipsburg post 437 as Chesapeake post 280 will bring 5, 6, and 7 to the plate against the Pennsylvania reliever. It's Spencer Sigmund, Gavin Whitehurst, and Nick Valentine coming to the plate. Whitehurst and Valentine each reached in their first plate appearances in this game last night. A walk for Whitehurst, a single for Valentine. So Tiricorda, after a relatively spotless third inning of work, worked around a one-out single from Aiden Stuffle, but never really in jeopardy. And now, Spencer Sigmund going to look to get the offense going for Chesapeake post 280. They enter this one at 15-3. Philipsburg, Pennsylvania, 26-3 coming into this one. Once again, I'm Daniel Woods, bringing you American Legion baseball from Morgantown, West Virginia. A reminder, this game began last night at 7 o'clock. As first pitch swinging is Sigmund. He sends this the other way towards the right center field gap, and it's over the head of the right fielder. That's Ben Gusky. He's around first, headed for second, and it's going to be a leadoff stand-up double for Spencer Sigmund. Just a lofted fly ball towards the right center field gap that Gusky nearly overran, went straight over his head, two-hopped the wall, and Sigmund is in at second base with nobody out in the inning. This game began last night with a 7 o'clock first pitch. Was delayed a couple of times by lightning. They finally called it with one out in the bottom of the second, and we resumed things this morning at 10 o'clock. The winner of this game will be one of just two unbeaten teams remaining in the tournament. Tiricorda comes set at the belt. First pitch to Gavin Whitehurst, shot back up the middle, handled right in front of the bag by the shortstop, Parker White, and fired on to first, but it is enough to move the runner Sigmund up to third. And the first run of this game is 90 feet away with one out in the inning for Chesapeake. Six-3 fielder's choice moves Sigmund to third and brings up Nick Valentine. Right fielder had the only hit last night for Virginia. He takes a first pitch curveball in the dirt, 1-0. Tiricorda back to the full windup with the only runner on third. His 1-0 is a fastball, shot back to the screen, evens things up 1-1. Tiricorda once again comes with the breaking ball, and this time it's sent on a line into left field. That will drive in the game's first run as Sigmund comes in from third. Uncontested. Nick Valentine with a one-out single, I should say, is the first man to drive in a run in this game. 15 hours after it started. The first run allowed by Tiricorda in this tournament in his second appearance. It's 1-0. Chesapeake, Virginia leads this game now. With one out, Trent Evans steps in. First pitch fastball taken for a strike, popping up quickly out of the crouch. Nate Gusky looks the runner back to first. Evans struck out looking in his only plate appearance last night. Tiricorda from the stretch, a glance towards the ground. Now a curveball painted on the outside corner, taken for a strike. 0-2 the count. The shortstop Trent Holland, the 9-hitter, is on deck. 0-2 slider. Getting the end of the bat on this one is Evans. He shoots a line drive into right field. Great piece of hitting there from Evans, just waiting back on the breaking ball and getting enough of the head of the bat around on that one to put it in right field. That moves Valentine up to second. Evans trots down to first. 3 hits in this inning already for Chesapeake, Virginia. 1 out, 1 run across the plate. Everything started by that Spencer Sigmund leadoff double. He moved up to third on the fielder's choice ground ball from Gavin Whitehurst. Scored on the Valentine single, and now runner in scoring position for Trent Holland, as the first baseman Kitco's drawn in potentially to cover the bunt. And Holland will square. He'll pop this one up down the third base line. That ball has eyes. It'll go foul. Touched by Colby Hahn to kill that one dead. So it's a strike one on the foul ball bunt attempt. 9-hitter Holland in now. Austin Jones, the second baseman, is set to come to the plate when the lineup turns over. He was 2 for 3 in Chesapeake's first game against Delaware Veterans Post 1, but he struck out twice in his first 2 plate appearances in this game. Tiricorda set at the belt once again. Kitco creeping in on the first base side. Now he steps off, fakes the throw back to second to do his best to keep Nick Valentin honest back there. Now Tiricorda back to the rubber. Kitco coming in. Holland squares the bunt off the bottom of the bat. It goes foul behind the plate, and the count goes 0-2. We'll have to see if the bunt sign stays on with 2 strikes for Trent Holland. A long look down towards the third base coach. He'll step back in. Nearly on top of the plate is Holland there. As Tiricorda is ready to do it once again. He'll swing away. It's a fastball outside. Pitch taken 1-2. The middle of the order due up for Philipsburg in the bottom of this inning. As Tiricorda glances back towards second. Now the 1-2 fastball up in the zone, swing and a miss, strike 3. Tiricorda records his second strikeout of the outing and puts Trent Holland down to record out number 2 in the inning. The other strikeout was of Austin Jones, who comes to the plate now, looking to keep the inning going for Chesapeake and avoid what could be a pretty big missed opportunity here. 1 run across the plate for Chesapeake. It's the first in the game. But they've got a runner in scoring position and another down at first, with Valentin at second, Evans at first. Tiricorda's first pitch. A fastball upstairs, popping out of this crouch once again, is Gusky to look the runner back to first. As I mentioned, Jones has struck out in his first 2 plate appearances in this game. Struck out looking last night, struck out swinging today in the third. Tiricorda's 1-0. Fastball painted on the outside corner, 1-1. Tiricorda has now allowed 3 hits in an inning and 2/3, coming in relief after this game was interrupted by weather last night. 1-1 curveball, hit on the ground, deep in the hole at short. Diving play can't be made by White. It's into left field. Rounding the bag at third is the runner. Sliding in safely to score the second run of the game is Valentin. Advancing to second on the throw and avoiding the tag is Austin Jones. Evans moves up to third. It's 2-0 Chesapeake. Just a seeing eye single through the left side that pays off in a big way for Chesapeake post 280. 2 outs in the inning. Valentin going on contact. As soon as that ball got under the glove of the shortstop, Parker White, he rounded third base and scored. The throw came home from the left fielder Kephart as the first pitch fastball to Aiden Stuffles taken for a strike. Kephart went home with the throw. It was a close play, but Valentin able to get under the tag. That allowed the other 2 runners to move up. Squaring to bunt, Stuffle takes a strike for Tiricorda to get ahead 0-2. The throw from Kephart came to the plate. As I said, heads up base running there from Evans to go to third. And Jones to go to second. Now on the 0-2. This ball rolled towards second base. Stuffle with some speed down the line. Throw pulls Kitco off the bag. Scoring from third is Evans. It's 3-0 as Stuffle reaches on the error. The speedy center fielder getting down the line. It would have been a close play anyway. But it appears that speed was enough to force Nick Cordry to rush the throw over to first. It pulled Kitco off the bag. Stuffle is safe. Evans scores. Jones goes to third. And now we'll have a meeting on the mound. It appears that they're going to give Tiricorda a chance to work out of this. 2 outs in the top of the 4th. 3 runs across the plate for Chesapeake post 280. But now runners on the corners for Jacob Smith, the designated hitter, who clubbed a home run in Game 1 for Chesapeake back on Wednesday. So the left-handed hitter, McCrary, rather, Smith is going to step in. With runners on the corners. 2 outs in the inning, 3 runs across the plate. First pitch fastball from Tiricorda misses up and away. The big left-hander. From the stretch, the 1-0. Inside part of the plate, this one ripped down the right field line for extra bases. That's going to one-hop the wall. 1 run scores as Jones comes in. They're going to wave Stuffle, trying to score from first. The throw's cut off. Now to the plate, the relay. Ball came out of the glove of the catcher. That'll score 2 runs. And as the ball rolls away, it allows Jacob Smith to advance to third. It'll be a 2-run double as he moves up to third on the throw. Stuffle comes in to score from first as Jones scores easily from third. Huge inning for Chesapeake, just gets bigger. It was a phenomenal relay play, to be completely frank. As first pitch swinging, this pitch is popped out of play by Cooper Newell. It was a great relay by the Philipsburg defense. Ben Gustke taking that one as it one-hop the wall. 0-1 from Tiricorda, misses up and away, evens the count. Hit the cutoff man, Cordry, perfectly, who turned and fired a strike home to Nate Gustke. But the contact from the slide, as Tiricorda's 1-1's popped in the air, foul back over the press box, 1-2. The contact from the slide, as Stuffle came in feet first to home plate, knocked the ball free, which allowed Jacob Smith to move up to third as well. 1-2 fastball just misses off the outside edge for Tiricorda, 2-2. That ball was roped down the right field line. And now Smith stands 90 feet from scoring, having driven in 2 himself. Tiricorda's 2-2, once again hit in the air, back over the press box and out of play. Five-run inning so far for Chesapeake. That all started with a Spencer Sigmund double. Newell is now the 9th hitter to come to the plate. Sigmund's on deck. 2-2 from Tiricorda. Fastball, reaching the bat, head out. This one's going to bounce into right field to drive in Smith. Again, just another outstanding piece of 2-strike hitting from a Chesapeake batter. Tiricorda came with the fastball. Newell waited back on it, just threw the bat head out, and sent a 2-hopper into right field as it just got past the glove of the second baseman, Cordry. And now Spencer Sigmund will come to the plate for the 2nd time in the inning. He doubled and scored to lead off the 4th. It's 6-0 Chesapeake now. Smith scoring from third. Sigmund digs in on the right side. Newell takes his lead at first, relatively conservative, held on by Kitco. Tiricorda gets a strike across, 0-1. Practice swing from the Chesapeake catcher. He takes a fastball inside. Newell breaks late for second base. The throw down from Gustke, and he slid right into the tag. Gustke put that one right on the bag, and Newell slid straight into the tag from Nick Cordry. So that ends the inning for Chesapeake, but not before they put 6 runs across the plate in the top of the 4th. Bat's going to have to get going for Philipsburg here soon. We go to the bottom half. It's Chesapeake post 280 out of Virginia 6. Philipsburg, Pennsylvania post 437-0. You're listening to Mid-Atlantic American Legion Baseball Regional Tournament coverage on the Voice of West Virginia, WV Metro News.
Hi, this is Hoppy Kercheval. West Virginia, in many ways, is a diverse state, often with different issues, challenges, and successes depending on where you live. But we're also a small state, and we're all connected by being West Virginians. Every day from 10:06 till noon, I talk about and provide insight into the events that shape who we are. My approach is tough but fair, and we may disagree, but together we'll stay abreast of what's going on in our great state. Successes, the hardships, the challenges, and of course the politics that contribute to making us who we are. So join me weekdays, 10:06 till noon for Metro News Talk Line.
Nobody covers West Virginia like Metro News. Start each weekday at 6:06 a.m. with the morning news. Veteran anchors Chris Lawrence and Carrie Hudasek deliver the day's biggest stories, along with in-depth reports from Jeff Jenkins, Alex Thomas, and Jake Flatley. The morning news also brings you the latest in sports from Kyle Wiggs and Joe Braccato, Hoppy Kercheval's daily commentary, and the entertainment report. The morning news on the Metro News Radio Network and at WVMetroNews.com.
Bottom of the fourth coming up here with the middle of the order coming to the plate for Philipsburg post 437, and they're going to have to get something going relatively quickly here against Max McCrary, as he's going to be able to pitch a little bit more comfortably here now with a 6-run cushion. A 6-run fourth inning for Chesapeake puts the Virginia State champions in the driver's seat of this winner's bracket game. This contest began last night with a 7 o'clock first pitch here at Dale Miller Field. But the rains delayed that game multiple times as McCrary delivers from the stretch. This one shot towards the first base dugout, ricochets off the fence for strike one. This game was finally halted with one out in the bottom of the second and pushed to a 10 o'clock restart today. And now Chesapeake leads this one 6-0. Off the end of the bat, this one lofted into center. It'll drop in for a Mike Kitko single. The cleanup hitter gets things started for Philipsburg in the bottom of the fourth. The saying goes, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And for Philipsburg, Mike Kitko has taken that first step. Leadoff base runner in the bottom of the fourth as they trail 6-0. Still will be a full 7-inning game today. Contests at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 7 o'clock to follow. As coming inside with the fastball and catching the hands of Colby Hahn is McCrary. That's 2 straight base runners to lead off the fourth. Kitko goes up to second. Hahn shakes that one off. And now the pitcher, Zach Tiricorda, has a chance to help himself out. Left-handed hitter will step in against McCrary, who's been largely untouchable both last night and today for Chesapeake. See if Tiricorda lays down a bunt here, 2 men on, and they will have him square to bunt. It's placed down the right field line, only play to first for McCrary, and he sends an underhanded toss to Gavin Whitehurst, but it moves 2 men into scoring position. Kitko goes to third, Hahn moves to second on the sacrifice bunt from Tiricorda. And gives Jacob DeSimon, the center fielder, a chance to cut into this lead with 1 out. DeSimon taking Zach Withrow's spot in the lineup. Withrow started as the pitcher last night for Philipsburg. Tiricorda started in center field as a first pitch fastball is taken for a strike at the top of the zone. Tiricorda started in center field last night for Philipsburg. He moved to the mound for the restart today. DeSimon replaces Withrow and takes Tiricorda's spot in center. 0-1 for McCrary. Another fastball at the top of the zone, taking strike 2. So McCrary doing what he needs to do in this situation, working ahead with 2 men in scoring position. Now the 0-2. Another fastball challenged him up and in. Gets a swing and a miss, strike 3. DeSimon goes down swinging. And Max McCrary's 1 out away from working out of the jam. Nick Cordry going to hope to change that. Kitko at third, Hahn at second. 2 out in the inning. McCrary working exclusively from the stretch. First pitch fastball. Clips the outer part of the plate. Taken for a strike, 0-1. McCrary once again set at the belt. Here's the 0-1. Another fastball hit in the air, out of play, first base side. Just like that, it's 0-2, and McCrary's one strike away. Kitco single to lead off the inning. Hahn was hit by a pitch. They advanced on the sacrifice bunt. McCrary's 0-2, sent back to the screen. Enough for the 8-hitter Cordry to stay alive. McCrary came back to strike out Jacob DeSimon. Put 2 outs on the board in the inning. Still 2 in scoring position. 6-0, the Chesapeake lead. McCrary looking to keep it that way. His 0-2 from the stretch. Fastball cut on and missed. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Max McCrary. Keeps Philipsburg scoreless. 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out, but a pair of Ks end the inning and brings Chesapeake back to the plate in the top of the 5th. After 4, it's Chesapeake, Virginia. It's Chesapeake, Virginia 6, Philipsburg, Pennsylvania nothing. You're listening to Mid-Atlantic American Legion Baseball regional coverage on the voice of West Virginia, WV Metro News.
West Virginia Outdoors is the Mountain State's only hook and bullet radio show, dedicated to the more than 250,000 hunters and anglers across the state. Award-winning host Chris Lawrence has been tracking down hunting and fishing stories for more than 25 years.
Fun fact about groundhogs that not a lot of people know is they actually go through hepatitis B, much like humans do. So they've actually been used as a role model for how hepatitis progresses through humans.
Don't even act like you knew that.
Whether it's hunting and fishing news or just compelling stories about the enjoyment of the great outdoors.
He brought the dogs in the next day. That dog, as soon as it got out of the side, it hit the nose on the ground. It pulled us. It took us straight through that deer.
Show him point. Got a point. You got that one.
West Virginia Outdoors covers it all. Saturday mornings at 7:06 a.m. And for your daily fix, Outdoors Today brings you 2.5 minutes of news and notes from the woods and water every weekday morning on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Top of the 5th coming up here from Dale Miller Field in Morgantown, West Virginia. I'm Daniel Woods, bringing you American Legion Mid-Atlantic Regional Baseball coverage. Philipsburg post 437, the Pennsylvania state champions, taking on Chesapeake, Virginia, the winners out of the state of Virginia. And it's a 6-0 lead for Chesapeake post 280, and they're hoping to add to that with Spencer Sigmund coming to the plate for the 3rd time. First pitch from Zach Tiricorda, lifted into the air to right field. Ben Gusky started in on it. Now he'll track back and make the catch for out number 1. Sigmund led off the 4th with a double. He came around to score in what was the opening salvo of a 6-run inning for Chesapeake. That has been the difference in this game so far. Tiricorda gets out number 1, though. Gavin Whitehurst steps in. He hit into a fielder's choice that saw him retired at first, but advanced Sigmund to 3rd back in the last inning. First pitch from the stretch from Tiricorda, fastball for a strike 1. Tiricorda worked from the windup in any situation that he could previously as his fastball misses upstairs to even the count. Now, working from the stretch even with the bases empty in the 5th. Whitehurst 0 for 1, drew a walk back in the 2nd inning. That was last night, of course, as Tiricorda misses upstairs 2-1. Two-1 fastball off the top of the bat, sent back to the screen, evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Max McCrary, Tiricorda's counterpart, has been phenomenal for Chesapeake. As the fastball comes in from Tiricorda, got him looking, strike 3. Whitehurst watches the fastball clip the outside part of the plate. That's out number 2, and this is exactly what you needed if you're Zach Tiricorda after giving up 6 runs in the last inning. A quick 2 outs, a 1-out fly ball from Sigmund, and then a 5-pitch strikeout of Gavin Whitehurst. Nick Valentine steps in. He's 2 for 2 in this game. Singled last night. Singled, drove in Sigmund, and came in to score back in the 4th today. First pitch curveball, a beauty, bending in for a strike from Tiricorda. 0-1 the count, 2 outs, top of the fifth. Chesapeake, Virginia leading Philipsburg, Pennsylvania 6-0. Tiricorda's 0-1. Fastball misses outside to even the count. A 6-run fourth for Chesapeake. The difference in this one, they look to add in the fifth, but 2 outs quickly recorded here from Zach Tiricorda, and he's 1 strike away from finishing the inning as Valentin fouls that out of play. Nine, 1, and 2 due up for Philipsburg in the bottom of the inning as Tiricorda's 1-2's popped in the air, shallow right field. He tosses the bat away, and charging in on this one is Ben Gustke. He makes the catch, and he'll lead off the bottom of the fifth for Philipsburg post 437. Got to get the bats going. 3 more trips to the plate for the Pennsylvania State champions. Max McCrary looking to keep them off the board. You're listening to American Legion Mid-Atlantic Regional Baseball coverage on the voice of West Virginia, WV Metro News.
No weekend plans? Try some of ours. From unrivaled outdoor adventure you won't find anywhere else in the world to home. Start here. Mountaineer country. Come. Go wild.
How well do you know your insurance company?
Well, I know I pay each month, and I'm covered.
Okay. Are you sure you have the best rates? Do you have the right coverage for your needs? Are you paying for things you don't need?
Well, I haven't actually talked to my agent. I just assumed...
Talk to a real person. Talk to someone local and see the difference.
Dynamic Insurance Group, caring independent agents that will find insurance solutions that are as unique as you are. Personal or commercial, you're covered at dynamicinsurancegroup.com.
Bottom of the fifth. Coming up here from Dale Miller Field in Morgantown, West Virginia. Chesapeake, Virginia taking on Philipsburg, Pennsylvania in a Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament American Legion baseball matchup. Max McCrary back to the mound for his 5th inning of work. It's 5 innings that's been split between 2 days. He worked an inning and a third last night before this game was interrupted by weather, and then returned to the mound and has worked 2 2/3 scoreless today. First pitch fastball to Ben Gustke, taken for a strike. Gustke, Tanner Kephart, and Parker White due up in the inning. The third baseman drawn in on the edge of the grass. Now this one going to be rolled to the third baseman. That's Trenton Evans charging in. He fires a strike over to Gavin Whitehurst at first for out number 1. Evans already drawn in to cover the bunt, and it was essentially a swinging bunt there from Gustke as it was in on his hands, and it was just a slow roller up the third base side. Evans positioned perfectly to make the play there. McCrary from the stretch, first pitch to Tanner Kephart. Slider that misses away. Zach Tiricorda, after giving up 6 runs in the top of the 4th, came back in the 5th with a 1-2-3 inning to bring Philipsburg back to the plate, but they've struggled to solve McCrary so far. He gets the first strike of the at-bat across with a fastball at the top of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out with number 1, Tanner Kephart, at the plate. McCrary ready to do it again. 1-1 in on the hands. This fastball shot into left field. Charging in and making the play. Laying out is Cooper Newell. It was a sinking fly ball to shallow left. Newell charging in. Full extension to make the grab for out number 2. Shortstop Parker White steps in. 2 outs, bases empty. And we've said that quite a few times today with Max McCrary on the mound for the state champions out of Virginia. First pitch fastball sent towards center field. Looks like this one has a chance to drop for a hit, and it will, as White provides a 2-out base runner for Philipsburg, that one falling in front of Aiden Stuffle. Philipsburg hitters have been aggressive early in the count so far against McCrary, but more often than not, he's come out on top. Brings the catcher Nate Gustke in. First pitch taken downstairs. Back pick attempt unsuccessful from Sigmund behind the plate. Nate Gustke 0 for 2. A ground out to shortstop and a strikeout in this game. See if they put White into motion. He takes a pretty aggressive lead there. This one's going to be lifted in the air, left center. Stuffle ranging to his right. He'll set up underneath it and make the catch for out number 3. 2-out base runner for Philipsburg post 437. Comes to not a whole lot against Max McCreary. We've said that a lot today. It's Chesapeake, Virginia 6. Philipsburg, Pennsylvania nothing after 5 innings. Chesapeake back to the plate in the top of the 6th. You're listening to American Legion Baseball Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament coverage on the voice of West Virginia, WV Metro News.
Your source for news in the Mountain State is Metro News. Weekday mornings, start your day with the morning news. 3 hours of the biggest stories across West Virginia, along with sports, weather, and more. Stay updated throughout the day with reports at 1/2 each hour. And find all the info you need on your schedule at WVMetroNews.com. The news you want from the name you trust. Metro News. For 36 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Hi, this is Travis Jones. Join me and Coach Greg Hunter every Sunday night from 6:06 until 8 o'clock on the Metro News Radio Network for the CityNet Sunday Night Statewide Sports Line. We'll wrap up the week in sports in the Mountain State, talk about the Mountaineers, high school, and the Mountain East Conference. Plus, you can join the conversation on our toll-free line or on our text line at 304-TALK-304. Join us every Sunday night from 6:06 until 8 p.m. on Metro News. It's the CityNet Sunday Night Statewide Sports Line.
Zach Tiricorda back to the mat. Rather, it'll be a pitching change, excuse me, for Philipsburg post 237 here in the top half of the 6th. It's the left-hander Dennis Prestash coming into the game for Philipsburg, the Pennsylvania state champions. He replaces Zach Tiricorda, whose day is finished. Tiricorda came on to replace the starter in this game from last night. That was Zach Withrow. Withrow worked 2 scoreless innings for Philipsburg. Tiricorda came on, did the same in the 3rd, but the 4th was not so successful. Tiricorda allowed 6 runs in the top of the 4th. It's been the only scoring in this game for either team. He pitched a scoreless 1-2-3 5th as well. But now he gives way to the left-hander, Dennis Prestash. And that's going to precipitate a couple of moves in the field for Philipsburg as well.
Now pitching for Philipsburg, number 5, Dennis Prestash.
The third baseman, Trenton Evans, starts things off in the top half of the 6th for Chesapeake. It'll be him, the shortstop, Trent Holland, and then the lineup will turn over for the second baseman, Austin Jones, after that. Prestash, the left-hander, set to fire his first pitch of the game. Works from a full windup. Fastball misses outside to Evans. He's 1 for 2 today. A strikeout back in the 2nd inning. He singled and came in to score in the 4th. Prestash is 1-0. Fastball misses off the outside part of the plate as well. So 2-0 count from Prestash. Sticks with the fastball. Catches the top half of the zone this time for a called strike 1. Prestash into the full windup once again. Sticks with the fastball. Once again gets a called strike. This time on the outer half of the plate. 2-2. Trent Holland on deck. He's 0 for 2. Austin Jones also set to come to the plate. 1 for 3 with a run scored today. Time called. by Evans. He'll step out. First pitching appearance in this tournament for Dennis Prestash. He winds and deals the 2-2. Curveball chopped on the ground, third base side, out of play. Give you those two changes in the field for Philipsburg post 437. They swap out both corner outfielders as Prestash delivers top of the zone. This one found back to the screen. Kyle said it's pronounced Amy. Yes. Prestash once again on 2-2. Goes upstairs with his fastball, misses high. It's a full count. Those changes once again for Philipsburg. Gavin Amy is the new left fielder. And Brandon Hahn takes over in right field. Payoff pitch from Prestash. Fouled straight down. And no, they'll say there was no contact on that pitch. It's a drop third strike. Popping out of the crouch, Nate Gustke couldn't get to it in time. And it'll be a strikeout and a wild pitch, but enough to allow Trenton Evans to reach. Trent Holland comes up in the 9 spot now. He's the only hitter for Chesapeake yet to be on base in this game. First pitch from Prestash misses downstairs, 1-0. Third baseman Hahn creeping in, now swinging at the 1-0. This is a comebacker taken by Prestash. He goes to second for one. Relay to first is wild. It pulls Kitco off the bag. And that ball will ricochet back into the field of play. So Holland will have to stay at first, but the fielder's choice, 1-6-3, is enough to record the first out in the inning. Good job by Prestash to stab that one. It was a low comebacker. He took it right off the ground. Got the force out at second. First pitch bunt attempt from Austin Jones is fouled off, strike one. Jones coming out of the batter's box. Nearly at a full sprint already. Not just trying to move the runner up. Looks like he's bunting for a hit here. Third baseman Hahn drawn in. Kitco holds the runner on at first. Jones going to swing away here. He does so with a ground ball to short. Sliding play made going to his right by Parker White. Can only get one out at second on the force play. No relay to Kitco at first from Cordry. But again, they take down the lead runner for out number 2. And now with 2 outs, Aiden Stuffle will have a chance to come to the plate. He's been on base twice, but is just 1 for 3. Singled in the third. Reached on an error in the fourth and came in to score. Pickoff attempt from Prestash. Jones is back in, standing up. 6-0, the Chesapeake, Virginia lead. And they will look to add to this if possible. But the way Max McCrary's been working on the mound, they may not need to. Prestash bends in a curveball on the inside part of the plate, taking strike one. Give you the final line for Zach Tiricorda. He goes 3 innings in relief. As Prestash comes set, delivers the 0-1. Runner breaks for second. It's a swing and a miss. And it'll be ruled actually a foul tip that sends that ball down the first base side. Of Nate Gustke behind the plate. But it will be ruled a foul ball, and that's going to force Austin Jones back to first base. Final line on Tiricorda. He goes 3 innings in relief, strikes out 3, allows 7 hits, 6 runs, but only 2 of them earned. As the 0-2 comes home, bounces in front of the plate, gets away from Gusky up the third base side. Jones barreling his way to second, made a big turn around the bag, but Gusky able to get to that ball in time to hold him to just one base. Count goes 1-2. Inning for Tiricorda and this Philipsburg team was a 2-out throwing error, as this one's lifted high to right field. Gusky going back on it. Say goodbye. 2-run home run for Aiden Stuffle. Extends the lead now. It's 8-0 Chesapeake. Prestash just caught too much of the plate for that one. And it's a 2-run shot in the lefty-on-lefty matchup for the Chesapeake center fielder. Prestash was just one strike away from getting out of the inning unscathed. But the 2-run shot over the right field fence for Aiden Stuffle instead extends the Chesapeake lead to 8. Full windup for Prestash to Jacob Smith. Curveball inside half, a called strike. It was that error in the fourth for Chesapeake that allowed the inning to stay alive, as Smith fouls this one off, strike 2. It was Stuffle at the plate when that happened. 1 run scored on that play, as Mike Kitko was pulled off the bag from the Nick Cordry throw. Jacob Smith followed that with a 2-run double that broke this game open. Now Stuffle continues to be a thorn in the side of Philipsburg, as this one comes way inside from Prestash and hits Smith right between the shoulder blades with the curveball. Keep this inning going. Runner at first, 2 outs now for the cleanup hitter Cooper Newell. So Stuffle has caused all kind of problems for Chesapeake in this game, rather for Philipsburg, as he reached on that error that has been one of the big difference makers in this game so far. Came around to score in that inning, and now with the 2-run home run has made it an 8-0 contest. And it looks like Jacob Smith, after being hit by that pitch, the designated hitter is going to be lifted from the game. He took that one right between the numbers and appeared to be in some discomfort headed down the first base line, but nothing was immediately clear. But he will exit. And Trevor Mason is going to come on as a pinch runner. Mason takes his lead from first. Newell digs in on the right side. Prestash working from the stretch, misses downstairs, 1-0. Mason with a short lead held on by Kitko. Prestash delivers. This one fouled straight down out of play, 1-1. So Smith leaves for Mason after being hit by the pitch. Prestash steps back onto the rubber, working from the stretch once again. Fires a pickoff attempt over to first. Mason back in safely. If it's anything serious for Jacob Smith, that would be about your chances today, but as you get into the final rounds of this tournament, he's been extremely productive for this team as the designated hitter, as this pitch is taken outside, 2-1 by Newell. Smith with a 3-run home run yesterday, a 2-run double today, and Newell's going to send this chopping through the hole on the left side. Just no way to make a play on that one for either Colby Hahn or Parker White. It takes 3 hops into left field for a 2-out single. Mason goes up to second. Newell has his second hit of the day.
Catcher, Spencer Sigmund.
Brings in Spencer Sigmund. Just 1 for 3 on the day, but he got that big 4th inning started for Chesapeake post 280. Doubled to the right center field gap, came in to score on Nick Valentine's single, and then was at the plate when Newell was actually caught stealing to end that inning. But nonetheless, he'll have another chance here to do some damage and put his team up even bigger. Prestash set, working from the stretch with 2 men on base. Fastball straight down the middle, fouled off third base side. Prestash was 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. A wild pitch and an Aiden Stuffle home run later. It was 8-0. Then he hit Jacob Smith with a pitch, followed by a Cooper Newell single. But now, with a fastball catching the top of the zone, taken for a strike, he is once again 1 pitch away from working his way out of the top of the 6th. Trevor Mason at second, Cooper Newell at first. Dennis Prestash looking to work out of the inning. From the stretch, the 0-2. Breaking ball called strike 3. Roger Wolf rings up Spencer Sigmund for out number 3 in the top of the 6th. But, again, a little bit more on the board for Chesapeake, Virginia. Aiden Stuffle with the 2-run home run over the right field fence makes it an 8-0 game. 6 outs left for Philipsburg post 437 before they have to head to the loser's bracket. Again, Chesapeake, Virginia 8, Philipsburg, Pennsylvania nothing. You're listening to American Legion Mid-Atlantic Regional Baseball coverage on the voice of West Virginia, WV Metro News.
Your source for news in the Mountain State is Metro News. Weekday mornings, start your day with the morning news. 3 hours of the biggest stories across West Virginia, along with sports, weather, and more. Stay updated throughout the day with reports at 1/2 each hour. And find all the info you need on your schedule at WVMetroNews.com. The news you want from the name you trust. Metro News. For 36 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Hi, this is Travis Jones. Join me and Coach Greg Hunter every Sunday night from 6:06 until 8 o'clock on the Metro News Radio Network for the CityNet Sunday Night Statewide Sports Line. We'll wrap up the week in sports in the Mountain State, talk about the Mountaineers, high school, and the Mountain East Conference. Plus, you can join the conversation on our toll-free line or on our text line at 304-TALK-304. Join us every Sunday night from 6:06 until 8 p.m. on Metro News. It's the CityNet Sunday Night Statewide Sports Line.
Bottom of the 6th coming up here in Morgantown, West Virginia, in this winner's bracket matchup between Chesapeake, Virginia, and Philipsburg, Pennsylvania, at the American Legion Mid-Atlantic Regional Baseball Tournament. I'm Daniel Woods, bringing you the first game of the day. I'll be back at 1 o'clock for today's second matchup as well. Chesapeake staked to an 8-run lead. Max McCrary has been phenomenal through 5 innings for the Virginia State champions. And now he's got even more of a cushion to work with. 5 scoreless innings so far. Has allowed 3 hits and struck out 5. Most impressively, no free passes given through 5 innings of work. He's faced 21 batters. And retired 15 of them, rather impressively. With 6, 7, and 8 coming to the plate for Philipsburg. Rather 4, 5, and 6, excuse me. That's Mike Kitko stepping in. He's 1 for 2 today. Colby Hahn will follow. And then we'll have to clarify who the 6 hitter is now, as Zach Tiricorda was in that spot, started the game in center field, moved to the mound when this game was restarted today, and has officially exited as McCrary comes inside, backs Kitko off the plate for ball 1. Had a couple of changes in the field as well as on the mound in the top half of this inning for Philipsburg post 437, and one of those players exiting for good was Tiricorda. Strike taken to the outside corner. McCrary Gets one across with his fastball, even 1-1. 8-0 the score. Chesapeake, Virginia leading Philipsburg, Pennsylvania in this winner's bracket contest. 1-1 for McCrary. Same spot with the fastball. Gets another called strike from Roger Wolf, 1-2. This game was a scheduled 7 o'clock first pitch last night. They got through an inning and a third. This one misses down and away. 1.5 innings plus 1 out. Not exactly how sure how to quantify that. As McCrary set on 2-2 from the stretch, back to the fastball, chopped left side. Coming in on this one, the third baseman, Evans. He'll fire to first. Whitehurst with the stretch for out number 1, and he fires the throw back to third base into left field. Cooper Newell going to have to track that one down, but nonetheless, slick play at third base from Trenton Evans. Records out number 1 in the inning and brings Colby Hahn, the third baseman, to the plate. And stepping out onto the on-deck circle is Dennis Prestash, so it appears the pitcher is going to hit. As this one is in on the hands, rolled towards second base. Austin Jones up with it. His throw on to first is in time for out number 2. Couple of quick ground balls for McCrary. Putting 2 down in the 6th and bringing his new counterpart, Dennis Prestash, to the plate. Prestash on in relief of Zach Tiricorda in the top of the 6th. He was 1 strike away from getting out of the inning when Aiden Stuffle launched a 2-run home run over the right field fence. Prestash, a left-handed pitcher. He hits from the left side as well. Third baseman drawn in. First pitch, this lofted towards left center. It'll be a single as it falls in front of Stuffle. So Dennis Prestash trying to help himself out a little bit. Finds his way on base with a 2-out single and brings Jacob DeSimon to the plate. DeSimon 1 for 2 in this game. Replaced Tiricorda in center field when this game was restarted at 10 o'clock this morning. Singled in his first plate appearance back in the 2nd and struck out in the 4th. Prestash takes his lead. First pitch fastball from McCrary, wrapped on the ground, backhanded at third. Here's Evans with a strike across, dug out by Whitehurst for out number 3. 3 ground outs, working around a 2-out single here for Max McCrary. Gets him through 6 scoreless. Philipsburg post 437. Trailing by 8 will send Prestash back to the mound for the top of the 7th. And then get their final crack at McCrary in the bottom half of the inning. We go to the final inning of this game. At least as long as Philipsburg doesn't put up 8 in the bottom of the 7th, that is. It's Chesapeake, Virginia 8, Philipsburg, post 437 out of Pennsylvania, nothing. You're listening to American Legion Mid-Atlantic Regional Baseball coverage on the voice of West Virginia, WV Metro News.
No weekend plans? Try some of ours. Some unrivaled outdoor adventure you won't find anywhere else in the world. To hometown plates and platters that pair well with the local craft beers. The happiest hours start here. Mountain or country. Come. Go wild.
How well do you know your insurance company?
Well, I know I pay each month, and I'm covered.
Okay, are you sure you have the best rates? Do you have the right coverage for your needs? Are you paying for things you don't need?
Well, I haven't actually talked to my agent. I just assumed...
Talk to a real person. Talk to someone local and see the difference.
Dynamic Insurance Group, caring independent agents that will find insurance solutions that are as unique as you are. Personal or commercial, you're covered at dynamicinsurancegroup.com.
Well, a pitching change in the top of the 7th for Philipsburg. Makes me sound like a liar. Gavin Amy heads out to the mound. Dennis Prestash, who I said before the break was likely to return after he stayed in to hit in the 6th, instead moves to left field. So Amy and Prestash swap spots. Gavin Amy taking the mound for Philipsburg, his first pitching appearance in this tournament. And he will face 6, 7, and 8 in the Chesapeake, Virginia order, looking to keep his team's deficit at 8 going into the bottom of the final inning. Gavin Whitehurst, Nick Valentine, and Trenton Evans due up in this inning. Valentine 2 for 3 with an RBI single in this game. Evans is 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored as well. Holland hitting in the 9 spot is one of just 2 hitless. Trent Holland, I should say, hitting in the 9 spot is one of just 2 hitless players in this game for Chesapeake, Virginia, post 280. The other is Gavin Whitehurst, who's going to lead this inning off. He's been on base, walked back in the 2nd. But if Whitehurst can get a hit, that'll give Trent Holland an opportunity to come to the plate as well and give all 9 players in this Chesapeake lineup a chance to walk away with a hit today. Whitehurst 0 for 2, walked in the 2nd, hit into a fielder's choice back in the 4th, and struck out looking in the 5th. Whitehurst, Valentine, and Evans to come to the plate. Right-handed hitting first baseman, squaring off with the left-handed pitcher, Gavin Amy. Full wind-up, first pitch fastball misses away. 8-0 the Chesapeake lead. A 6-run 4th and a 2-run home run off the bat of Aiden Stuffle in the 6th. The difference so far. Amy goes upstairs with a fastball, misses high, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Full wind-up, fastball misses away. 3-0 to Gavin Whitehurst. See if Whitehurst is taking here. They leave him the chance to swing away. He takes a fastball outside for ball 4, tosses the bat away, and heads to first base on balls for the 2nd time in the game. That brings Valentine to the plate. 2 for 3, as I mentioned earlier, an RBI single, a run scored.
Right fielder Nick Valentine.
Valentine steps in on the right side. Amy, from the stretch, sees this one ripped down the left field line. That's a fair ball for extra bases. Chugging around second. Here comes Whitehurst into third. He will round the bag, runs through the stop sign. Here comes the relay. No tag made. It's 9-0 as an RBI double for Nick Valentine. Gets pretty interesting. The first baseman, Whitehurst, not a bad athlete, but certainly not a burner, came sprinting around second base around the same time that the left fielder, Tanner Kephart, that's Dennis Prestash out there, came up with that ball, hit the cutoff man, and Whitehurst ran straight through the stop sign and slid in before Nate Gusky could get the tag down. It'll go as an RBI double for Nick Valentine. He stands at second, nobody out. First pitch swinging, line drive to first. Mike Kitko makes the catch, and they nearly double Valentine off at second. Trenton Evans is retired on one pitch. And Kitko at the heads-up play nearly gets Valentine at second. That'll bring Trent Holland to the plate. He's 0 for 3 today.
Shortstop Trent Holland.
Holland digs in on the right side. First pitch misses away from Amy, 1-0. Mentioned this earlier. Holland, the only player yet to be on base without recording an out in this game. Amy from the stretch, line drive, hit towards left. That'll drop for a hit. They'll hold Valentine at third. It puts runners on the corners with 1 out. So Trent Holland reaches first. He hit into a fielder's choice back in the 6th, was safe at first base. But that single makes Whitehurst, who walked and scored in this inning, the only Chesapeake, Virginia player without a hit. It also turns the lineup over for Austin Jones. He's 1 for 4, but has scored a pair of runs. He's got a chance to drive one in now with runners on the corners and 1 out. This ball bounced in front of Gustke for ball 1. 9-0 the Chesapeake lead. One out, top of the 7th. Philipsburg, post 437, going to need to get something going in the bottom of the 7th. This is a matchup of two unbeaten teams in this double elimination tournament, so nobody's season's on the line, as Jones gets every piece of that, but was about as early as you can get. Shot that ball at roughly a 60-degree angle over the third base dugout. Now Amy's 1-1. Fastball downstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's the second baseman, Nick Cordry, who hits in the 8th spot for Philipsburg, due up to lead off the bottom of the 7th. But Gavin Amy has to get out of this one before that can happen, and he misses downstairs 3-1. It's Cordry, Ben Gustke, and Tanner Kephart, 8-9-1, due up for Philipsburg in the bottom of the inning. They trail now by 9-0. And Austin Jones is looking to add to that for Chesapeake. Hitters count on 3-1. Fastball misses up and in. It's a 5-pitch walk to load the bases, and here comes Aiden Stuffle, who is not somebody that Gavin Amy wants to see right now. 2 for 4 on the day, a pair of runs scored, and of course that big 2-run home run that extended the lead to 8 in the last inning. Base is full for Chesapeake. Lefty on lefty matchup. Nowhere for Gavin Amy to put Aiden Stuffle.
Center fielder Aiden Stuffle,
who's got a chance to blow this wide open in the top of the 7th. Already a 9-0 game. First pitch to Stuffle, lifted high in the air, shallow right field. Coming on for this one is Ben Gustke. Instead, he'll be called off by the second baseman, Cordry. Tagging from third is Valentine. He's safe, sliding underneath the tag. Heads up play there from Valentine to tag up from third as Cordry ranged back into shallow right field. He made the catch with his shoulders turned towards the first base dugout. And Valentine, working with little inhibition already with a 9-run lead, tagged up and scores on the ball to shallow right field. Also advancing on the play, Trent Holland goes to third. Austin Jones stays at first. Runners on the corners, 2 out. And the first plate appearance of the game for Trevor Mason. He came on as a pinch runner in the last inning. He takes a strike on the inside corner after Jacob Smith was hit by a pitch and left the game. Right-handed hitter Mason settles in once again. Amy working from the stretch, looking to get out of this inning with just 2 runs across the plate. It's 10-0 Chesapeake, Virginia. His 0-1 delivery misses up and away. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners on the corners, 2 across the plate for Chesapeake, Virginia in the inning. Gavin Amy set at the belt. Fastball up in the zone, swing and a miss from Mason. 4 strike 2. Austin Jones at first, Trent Holland at third. Holland singled and has worked his way around to third. After Jones walked, he moved up on the flyout. Now the 1-2 misses up and away. Gustke out of the crouch, looks Jones back to first. Gavin Whitehurst led off this inning with a walk. Came in to score from first on Nick Valentine's double. 2-2. Upstairs once again from Amy. Runs the count full. That'll give Jones a chance to get a running start on this one as Mason steps back in. Amy from the belt. Jones takes off. Pitch misses upstairs. Loads the bases once again. Cooper Newell will come to the plate on a 2 for 4 day with a pair of singles. The left fielder
Cooper Newell.
drove in a run back in the fourth and was caught stealing. As he takes a pitch upstairs, 1-0. Also singled in the sixth, but was stranded when Spencer Sigmund struck out to end the inning. Holland at third, Jones at second. Now Mason at first with the bases loaded. 1-0. In the dirt, Gustke again pops up quickly. Pump fakes on the throw to look Jones back to second. 2 balls, no strikes to Newell, the 8th hitter to come to the plate in the inning. 10-0, the Chesapeake lead. This fastball clips the inside corner for a called strike 1. Gavin Amy, the 4th pitcher of the game for Philipsburg, Pennsylvania, in this matchup that was interrupted in the bottom of the second last night and restarted at 10 o'clock this morning. Now the 2-1 fastball misses up high. 3 balls, 1. Base is full. Amy has already issued 3 walks in this inning. Certainly doesn't want to do it here. 3-1, hit on the ground towards third. Cooper Hahn going to make the play, take it to the bag himself. Colby Hahn, for out number 3. That will send us to the bottom of the 7th. Philipsburg, post 437, has some work to do. They need 10 runs to keep this game going in the bottom of the 7th. Chesapeake, Virginia leads the Pennsylvania State champions 10-0 after 6.5. Last trip to the plate for Philipsburg. Lots of work to do in this winner's bracket matchup. You're listening to American Legion Baseball Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament coverage on the Voice of West Virginia, WV Metro News.
Your source for what's happening in West Virginia is WVMetroNews.com. Get the latest statewide news, sports reports from WVU, Marshall, and your local high school teams. Explore the great outdoors with Chris Lawrence. Read Hoppy Kercheval's daily commentary and catch up on your favorite Metro News programs and podcasts. Stay informed anytime, anywhere with WVMetroNews.com. Metro News for 36 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Weekdays at 3 on Hotline, we talk about what you're talking about in sports, popular culture, tech, and more. We pepper our daily lineup with renowned local and national guests with authoritative perspectives on a wide variety of topics, from high school sports to Hollywood and the financial markets. Every day, Coop and I have irreverent discussions with you using texts and tweets, plus our exclusive content like the question of the day, In or Out in Beer Friday. Metro News Hotline, weekdays on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Bottom of the 7th coming up. And it'll be a pitching change after 6 for Chesapeake, Virginia. 6 scoreless innings they get here from the starter, Max McCrary. And that's split between 2 days. He's replaced by Brendan Hawley, another right-hander stepping in. Finishing up his warm-up pitches with Spencer Sigmund behind the plate. He'll face 8, 9, and 1 in the Philipsburg order. Nick Cordry, Ben Gustke, and Tanner Kephart scheduled to come to the plate. Well, actually, Kephart replaced in the lineup a couple of innings ago, but his spot in the order has yet to come around. So it will be Cordry, Brandon Hahn. I'm all mixed up here because we're getting all kinds of changes in these late innings from Philipsburg. It'll be a pinch hitter for Nick Cordry in the 8th spot in the order as Justin Ivick steps in on the right side. He takes a pitch downstairs for ball 1 from Holly.
Pinch hitting for Philipsburg, number 6, Justin Ivick.
Ivick digs in on the right side, sends a line drive towards left. Cooper Newell a couple steps in, makes the catch for out number 1. And now Brandon Hahn, who came in as a defensive replacement in right field in the 6th inning, will get his first plate appearance.
Number 23, Brandon Hahn.
Right fielder will hit from the right side. Still not entirely sure, as he takes strike 1 on a curveball, who's going to hit in Tanner Kephart's spot in the order. He was initially replaced by Gavin Amy, who moved to the mound in the last inning, and Dennis Prestash moved to left field. Breaking ball comes in from Holly, taken for strike 2, and it is Amy who stepped out of the on-deck circle, so the pitcher, Gavin Amy, is due up next. Now that we've got all that sorted. 10-0, the Chesapeake lead, bottom of the 7th. Fastball from Holly, taken downstairs, 1-2. Holly just looking to close this one out after Max McCrary fired 6 scoreless. Holly's 1-2. Curveball inside, corner, got him looking. Beautiful backdoor breaking ball there from Brendan Holly for a called strike 3. And Gavin Amy comes to the plate with Philipsburg post 437 down to its final out.
Number 2, Gavin Amy.
Amy came on as a defensive replacement in left field in the 6th. He takes strike 1 and swapped places with Dennis Prestash in the 7th, allowing 2 runs in the top half of this inning on the mound. 0-1 breaking ball, check swing, appeal down to third. Tony Veltri says he didn't go. This is game 8 of the tournament. The winner of this game will play at 7 o'clock tomorrow as Amy lifts a ball into shallow right field, going back on it, the second baseman Jones. He makes the catch for out number 3 in the 7th. Chesapeake, Virginia stays unbeaten in the tournament. They move on to the 7 o'clock game tomorrow, whereas Philipsburg will play for its season. Rather, excuse me, mixed up completely with this game being restarted.